again, folks. I'm Kendall, this is Jolene, and you're watching Moto Appalachia Discovery. Right now we're in Braxton County, West Virginia, on our way to Twin Falls, where I'll be meeting up with some fellow West Virginia creative types. Look at this beautiful road. It's actually only about the width of a single lane at this part, so I'm going to have to take my time in case a car comes around one of those corners. But what a beautiful day to be riding. You know, I spent a few years making a living with photography. Weddings, portraits, music, photojournalism, all that kind of stuff. But one of my favorite things to photograph has always been abandoned and decaying properties. In fact, for a few model shoots, we headed out to abandoned factory or industrial properties or ghost towns because there's something especially striking about the contrast of a beautiful woman against the backdrop of decay. That's pretty badass.
Yeah, get into it. Bitch, I'm the baddest. Yeah, get into it. Yeah. Host be the maddest. Yeah, get into it. Yeah. Bitch, I'm the baddest. Yeah, get into it. Yeah. I'm the whole package. Yeah, get into it. I got the wrist, freaking it, baby, and I'm getting rich. Commas on commas, I've been with this shit. Look at me, baby, I don't need no assist. Everything hit, I'm a walking lit. Who do you know to get bored just like this? Top match the bottom, no BBO here. Been on my shit, my skin getting clear. I'm up and I'm out of here. Get into it. Bitch, I'm the baddest. Yeah, get into it. Yeah. These hoes be the maddest. Yeah, get into it. Yeah.
But these properties are just awesome on their own, and I'm not the only one who thinks so. There are tons of online communities and social media accounts dedicated to urbexing or urban exploring, whatever you want to call it. And some states even have online tools to help people find good spots. In fact, if you're up in Pennsylvania and you want to explore abandoned sites, I'm putting a link in the comments for this site that will help you find where to go. So there are communities online, but it seems like I never meet these people in real life. Well, I stumbled upon a couple of West Virginia folks who seem to spend a lot of time visiting and documenting those spots. We've been looking for an opportunity to collaborate on a video for a couple of months now, and we finally narrowed down a good day to do some exploration together. So I'm driving all the way down to the southern part of the state to Mullins, West Virginia, where I'm told we'll be exploring an abandoned power plant. But first, we're meeting up at Twin Falls State Resort for a recorded conversation, and I'm honestly looking forward to that just as much, because I've been thinking about what it is that people like about abandoned and decaying properties. I mean, I think normal people see a filthy, decrepit building and have no desire to go anywhere near it. So what do urban explorers see that others don't? What is it about these places that's so interesting to us? I'm looking forward to talking with them about that, hearing about their process, all that good stuff. It's still a little too cold to camp, so I'm staying in a hotel tonight, meeting up in the morning, and we'll head out from there after our conversation. For now, I'm going to enjoy this beautiful ride. See you in the morning. Your boy got stood up. After weeks of planning the specifics of this trip, through more than a dozen emails, the crew did not show up. Very frustrating. But look, I've worked on a lot of collaborative projects over the years, from political stuff to creative stuff, and I've found that the Pareto principle is 100% accurate. If you're unfamiliar, that basically just means that 80% of outcomes result from 20% of inputs. And if you've ever done a group project in school, you know that 80% of the final product is always the result of 20% of the people. That's just the way the world works. Most people are unreliable, so when people flake out, all you can really do is wish them luck, write them off, and do the thing yourself. It's not the biggest deal for me because this channel is just a hobby. I'm not trying to be a YouTuber or attempting to make money with videos. I don't even share these videos with my friends. But still, I drove across the state at the cost of a couple few $100s and 2 to 3 days of my week, so pretty annoying. In this particular case, how do I do the thing myself? Well, I'm not going to be able to do that specific thing because I don't actually know the location of that abandoned Mullins power plant. So I spent a few minutes at the resort looking at maps trying to determine the most likely location to have an abandoned property worth exploring. I settled on the Itmann company store. Now, if you're from coal country, you probably know what a company store is, but a quick explanation for those who don't know. Early coal miners in Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Kentucky, they often owned almost nothing. In fact, they often weren't paid US dollars for their work. Instead, they were paid in a company currency or scrip. So you often lived in a house that was actually owned by the coal company. You make coal company scrip, then spend your scrip at the store, which is also owned by the coal company, hence the company store. That's the meaning behind that song, 16 Tons, which I can't actually play for you because I'll get a copyright violation, but in editing, I'll try to record like the first verse or something, because I bet you'll remember it.
Some people say the man is made out of mud. A poor man's made out of muscle and blood. Muscle and blood and skin and bone. A mind that's weak and a back that's strong. You move 16 tons and what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me, 'cause I can't go. Oh, my soul to the company store.
But scrip and company stores haven't been a thing since the 1950s, so I'm betting this spot I see on the map is abandoned. Maybe not. We will soon find out. But first, I'm going to stop and see one of these two waterfalls that Twin Falls is named for. Oh, hell yeah. This is exactly what I was hoping to find. I think that road over there goes up behind the building, so I'm going to take that out of sight so police don't show up. The biggest risk of urbexing is usually trespassing charges. I mean, I'd obviously never do anything to further damage the properties, but cops don't know that. I have been put in the back of a squad car once, well, more than once, but once for shooting, and I would like to avoid that today. Since the trip, I've been thinking about the question I was hoping to work through with others. What do urban explorers like about these places? I think some of us like the discovery. Places we were never meant to see, probably shouldn't be in the first place. Abandoned places feel as much like cemeteries as anything else. The air has a little nostalgia, a little sadness, maybe a hint of fear. Sometimes the remains only hint at their original purpose, and sometimes they are unmistakable. Sometimes they're almost completely emptied out, like this place was. And sometimes the evidence of lives lived is everywhere. I think some of us like the history. Less than 2 miles from here is a mining union memorial for those lost underground and lost to black lung. In this place, those who survive the darkness emerge to acquire flour for bread, medicine for sickness, a new pick that might improve their work below the earth. In abandoned places, you feel the past in a way you just can't feel it in museums and maintained historical sites. And I think a few of us actually like to remember that everything is temporary. Not just that life is short, but that in the grand scheme of things, even the institutions that seem permanent to our daily lives fall away. Vines will shroud the walls, the ceilings will crumble, nature will reclaim all. And no matter what we hate about the world around us, and some of us hate a great deal about this world, the abandoned reminds us that this too will end.